All right, we're at Florida Caverns State Park, and we're gonna go check out the cave tour.
Indian village. This area was the site of an Indian village when first visited by the Spaniards in the 1500s. The broken pottery, the spear points found here tell us that the Indians were farmers and hunters. The caves provided clay for their pottery and shelter from storms and enemies. Other groups of Indians lived in one of the park caves about 1100 years ago. Bones and shells were found there, indicating that their food consisted of wild animal, birds, and shellfish. Cool.
That's the gift shop.
There's your bamboo.
Where you can purchase tickets. It's $5 to enter the park. On top of the ticket, I think it's like $10 a piece.
That's not bad.
No. Let's go see that real quick.
Yeah.
Or you can buy them online like we did. We bought them online. Welcome to a temperate hardwood forest.
Florida maple, American beech, southern magnolia, pignut hickory. Oh, that's what that's called. And the red bud. Cool.
And they have a nice museum here. But that's where we're going into. The caves. And that whole thing is the whole state park. Oh, wow.
Cool.
And that's what they would look like. Bats. Remember we found one of these really humongous in Puerto Rico? When we were on Survival Beach, we found a humongous one. That's how they used to live. I wonder if that was that one area where we seen.
Well, I'm sure.
When we were driving, we seen like something like that. They even sell you fool's gold. That's what it says. Not a bad little gift shop. Daniel Boone. Shirts. Not bad for a gift shop. So we get ready to go do our tour. All right, BB. Here we go to the Bat Cave. Anyone wants to know about Batman?
All right, now we do have 33 steps to go down.
Ooh,
so when you walk through that
33.
Front door, that's the very first room right there. As soon as you walk in, show you my little bat, and just go over to the left right there to the corner. That's where we get started. Okay. Y'all do be careful going down the steps with it.
You don't get any good pictures. Maybe at that entrance. If you stand on top of that stair, I'll get a nice picture of you. Turn around. Let me get a beautiful picture of you. Alrighty. Let's go. All right, Batman. For all you DC lovers.
Never found one in the tape though. That is one of our full-grown bats right there. No, that's full-grown.
Yeah, I guess it's predator.
He's full.
He's good.
Now, when one bat this size has babies, looks like a little housefly with wings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
they
so
are tiny,
precious.
tiny. I've seen them.
You got a picture?
Yeah, I got one.
He's really awesome. Oh, I could take his picture all day. He's fabulous.
Oh yeah. You house in their same spot with with their own kind. But every now and then you'll see them kind of come in with another one or two.
Oh, cool.
So little.
Yeah,
I
I've
think
had
of
them.
bats, I think of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had these land on my shirt and just kind of hang there and look up at me, and I say, "Okay, I love for you to stay, but I got."
Where I look down there.
Now a little bit about myself. I'm Quarter Creek Indian, and I got away with animals down here. If you happen to see me stop and I squat down, literally I am picking a snake up off the floor. I do take 2 or 3 snakes out of here a week. I catch them, they calm down, let everybody see them, rub on it. I put them around my neck and I keep on going with the tour, and then I let them go once I get outside. That's just the way I am. I don't hurt my animals in here. I'll do about another minute, kind of let your eyes get adjusted in here. We do say this quite a bit. Don't mean to sound like a broken record, but it is going to be for your safety. You'll be hearing me saying, please watch your step and watch your heads quite a bit. I am giving you a fair warning where you're fixing to walk, and especially
This is cool.
now I do have a little buddy in this room. His name is James. He is a bullfrog.
I'm
He's been
scared
down
of
here as long
frogs.
as I've been working, and that's him right down there on the floor.
Wow, because I'm scared of frogs.
That is James the
Son
bullfrog.
of a gun. Son of a gun.
Yeah, little dark spot.
I see him.
Yeah. He does have a girlfriend in here, but
Oh my God.
she does.
Is he pretty accustomed to people, or is he?
Pretty much, yeah. We go at times from the floor of it to the surface. It is 60 feet. You will be as close as 15 feet a few times because we are going up and down quite a bit, and it's according to what section of the hill that we're under. And I can pretty much tell you within about a foot how deep you are. I've been doing this for so long, and I study it all the time. Now, the way the cave itself got formed, it was many years ago. All of Florida was covered underneath the warm, shallow sea. Today, up here in the Panhandle, that water is known as the Gulf of Mexico. It used to be up here above us. Now, most of the animals that lived in that water back then lived in a shell. So as it died, the shell would sink. As the tides came in and out, it covered everything up with sand, crushed up coral, more shell. Plus the way the water on top of it, it was packing it in real tight, almost perfect granite concrete. Then as the water started to back off, the sun started baking it. That's what turned all this stuff into our limestone. Now there was a lot of acid rain back then, and as this stuff got rained on, this water started seeping through it like water in a sponge. It came all the way down to the bedrock that it was sitting on. Then as the water started to dissolve the underside of this limestone, eventually a river started flowing through here. This is what carved out the rest of the cave. One of the rooms further back, I'll show you where that river came from. Now I'm going to be taking you on about a 3/4 of a mile walk. The cave itself, though, is right at 5 square miles big. So I'm taking you through just a tiny portion. Myself, I've been through this whole cave a number of times. Fixing to go through it again, too. We actually have 35 caves on the property. I've been through about 18 of them. I'm working my way up.
So that's for the VIP tours. And because it's muddy. Yeah, all right, go ahead.
Now this little room here, this is called our wedding room. Now the reason we do call it that is we actually have 2 to 3 weddings in here a year. Had one about 8.5 months ago. Now when we started doing this, it would cost you $50. Now right up here, this is where the preacher would be. This step below, this is where the couple would be. And we allow up to 25 members of the wedding party back to where you are. Now guys, this is the thing about marriage. At the end of it, that preacher is going to say the words that will echo in your brain for the rest of your life.
To honor and obey.
He's going to say, I now pronounce you man and wife. What's yours is hers, and what's hers is hers. I know that because I've already had 4 of them. I do it for a hobby. But anyway, $50, the ceiling. These things are called soda straws. They are hollow, but they're real fragile. Now, the way these things are starting to grow down here in the cave is it rains outside. It'll take that water anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks to make its way through this limestone before it gets inside the cave.
Oh, wow.
Now, while it's making the journey, though, it collects minerals. This water will come to the ceiling as a little drop. Minerals get hooked to it, and as that little drop water falls, there's going to be another one coming in right behind it. It will do the same thing. And through a long period of time, it does form our little hollow straws. Now, through a number of years, these straws will get clogged up from the minerals. Now, when this happens, the water starts to seep around the outside of it to make it grow. This is when it changes itself into a stalactite. Just like these bigger ones we got right here on this side in the ceiling. Now, as that water is going around this stalactite, when it comes to that little point, as it drops down through the floor, still has minerals, it starts forming your stalagmite. Now, through a great number of years of growth, these 2 formations, they will connect to each other. Now, when this happens, it changes itself into a column, just like this one right here in front of you.
Wow.
So many, many years ago, this big old column right here started life as one of these tiny little soda straws. Now, the next room, I'll give you an idea about how long it's taken this thing right here to grow. Now, over here on this side, on the wall, this is what we call cave draperies. We have a bunch of them right back in here and a few down here in the front. Now, these are also known as angel wings, bat wings, elephant ears, pig ears, or big slabs of bacon. Because they look like a big old piece of bacon going right down the wall. Now, as water is coming through this wall with an angle, it's not dropping. It trickles down. It leaves all the minerals behind. Our cave draperies are some of the fastest growing formations we have down here. But again, it takes these things a pretty good while also. And I'll explain that in the next room too. Any questions?
Behind there. Beautiful.
Watch your head. There's your last step. So,
Watch out for the spiders.
We have 2,000 acres of property. You know, 2,000 acres. We have actually 35. We used to have 34.
This whole thing is in one,
This is a one cave.
not separate.
Right.
No. Oh.
Some of them will, through a small hole, interconnect with other caves. Some of them no. We have just found a brand new one at the first of the year.
You have a map of where you're storing?
Yeah, we know where they're at.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful cave. The colors in there. And it has,
doing tours in there? No.
Wow,
no.
Just
This is the only cave that the state will allow
that's
people.
nice.
really? So it's that
Because
kind
they
of
want to keep the
interest?
ecosystem just like it is. And
35 caves just in that whole park.
mhm.
Oh,
The museum and gift shop
oh,
is on top of one of them.
oh. I thought
That one's
we
called,
were-
yeah, that one's called the Dragon Tooth Cave. And working for them. Now the vets actually named each room that we'll be going through from a formation that they've seen and what it reminded them of. Now when they got into here, Disney had just created Donald Duck. We have a duck in here, it is a natural formation. And we have named it Donald. And that's our little duck right up here on the hook.
Oh,
Wow, that's lovely.
Huh,
That's my duck.
yeah, it is a duck.
And I do teach anatomy down here because I'm going to show you some different body parts. This job, you become everything.
Jack of all trades.
That's it. Start out being a tour guide, but you end up being an archaeologist, a geologist, paleontologist, science teacher, and a paramedic.
You have to.
All rolled into one.
I mean, those look like skulls, believably.
That's how this room got the name, for educational purposes though. And you see that column right there, you see where it broke apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the formations in here is fragile as glass. It really don't take a whole lot to break it, but this is what's happening. You are standing feet above another cave system. There's about 25 to 30 feet below you right now. It's our aquifer. This is where Jackson County gets a lot of its drinking water from. So the more rain we get, this aquifer, this mineral is called calcite. Now right over here on the left, that murky looking brown column, this mineral is called manganese. And right up there in the ceiling, the rust color is iron. That is the three main minerals that is coming through this cave. Reason. I had a lady ask me this past summer if that was a skylight. She did, really. I looked at her, I said, no, honey, there's about 40 foot of rock on the other side of that hole. I'll tell you about it in the next room.
You can't see over there to the left. Oh, it says head knocker.
Right there.
Don't hit your head knocker. You're gonna hit your head a lot. Very humid in here, even though it's cool. Ooh, just got some water on me. No people lived in here, in this cave that we're at, going through.
Yeah, so take those out so we can walk inside. This room was pretty much flat.
He said that looks like the continent of Africa, the way the frame. It's hard to get it.
But you'll see shells.
And he says sometimes it's full of water.
You're actually standing underneath the floor of the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah. Kind of look like a little biscuit. I got a few of these at the house. I got a big glass display case full of dinosaur fossils. Oh yeah, there's shells everywhere in here. We did have a shark's tooth back there.
Oh.
But a couple of years ago, somebody wanted it a lot worse than we did. On one of the tours, and I know, where's he at? Where did I see him at?
Right there.
Uh,
Right over there.
dang, see, I lose him all the time.
Right there.
Oh, yeah, him.
It's a
Now,
shell.
there's a section, there's actually another room up above us. And I've been in
Can't
it.
see.
And that sea urchin in there, he's about this big around.
Oh, wow.
He is large.
Much bigger.
We see, I've seen it done for the day, we turn the lights off inside. Now, as the men was working in here though, when they first came down here, if that lamp that they had on the front of their hats went out, this is what they was looking at too. Now I'm gonna ask you, if you will, just to cut your phones off or hide it real good to kill the light, because I want you to
Kill
get
the
the true
light.
effect in here. Now I will turn my flashlight off last. Now whenever I turn my light out, you'll see what this place really looks like. So, good night, everybody. This is what a bat sees in here. Now, this is my illustration. This way I can't explain that bowl for you. Now see how much light this little big lighter's putting out. This is really not a whole lot. But this is actually all the light that the men had when they first came down here swinging that pickaxe.
Wow.
Now here's a story about that bowl. That lamp they had on their hats, it's called a carbide lamp. Those things are about this tall. I got a couple of them at the house. I collect little antique lanterns. That's as bright as these things get. Now swing that pickaxe though, sometimes it'd jar that hat, it would knock that light out. You just seen what they was looking at. Now in case it did happen though, they had a rope tied to them. So all they did, just reach behind them, grab a hold of it. They followed it back to our discovery room. That's where everybody went to get the lamps fixed. They could go back to work. Now down in the kitchen, they fed the men out of these white porcelain china bowls. And one of the guys did get ingeniously smart. He brought one down here, he mounted up the ceiling. Then he put a nail on each side of that bowl into the limestone and he hung an oil lamp on each nail. Now the light coming off both those lamps reflected so bright off that white bowl that it lit up the room. We have 64 of them from the front door to the back door. Every bowl that you see in the ceiling, that's the original bowl they put up there in 1937.
Wow.
We don't even touch them.
That's awesome.
We're afraid the metal has rusted away. The only thing that's left up there now is just a porcelain.
Yeah.
And if it does have a light underneath it, I'm the only person that's allowed to come here and change that light bulb out if it goes out.
Oh, they can work?
This was down there at the bottom.
Oh.
They wanted to
wow.
separate this walkway and this one. They never touched the formation. They manhandled this rock from down there all the way up
And
here.
then you got the ducky.
Quite a few.
Jeez.
Men, ropes,
Oh,
all over trying to get it up here.
hey.
And but they never touched the formation. And this thing is still rolling
Wow.
every time water falls on it.
And this is one growing right now.
Right there.
Yep. All right, now we're gonna go under the tunnel.
Can't go as far as you go.
They do that first. But now I pray for rain every day. Because further back in the cave it does go sloping down and it will start flooding back there. That'll bring a lot of bats up here in our touring area. I've seen, I'm giving this a low number, over 3,000 bats in our ceiling.
3,000.
That's the first year I was working here.
During the day, they hide inside, right?
Yeah. Especially out there at that swamp.
The feet.
But their eyes are real tiny.
That is so cool. For that.
I know.
Now when the guys got into here, they even documented everything about the room. The flowstone formation is in the middle of the floor, and this one back over there in the side. There was a lot of water flowing over both of them when they got into here. All those little been to Niagara Falls before.
Ah,
Now, if you've ever seen pictures of that, as the water goes over the edge, that white spray that comes up from the bottom,
Yeah.
this is what it looked like to them.
Oh.
So they gave this room the name, the waterfall room.
Oh.
Now, if you remember, I told you the cave is alive. I'm going to show you that I do know what I'm talking about. Mother Nature loved this place so much that she actually gave it its own heart. This is a natural formation too. A little bit of a dying off algae on the right, but that's the heart of the cave back here. And as soon as I can find the time, I'll get in here and get that cleaned off. But I am a busy man out here at the park.
Wow.
Between my job and helping the rangers out, oh yeah.
So how are we gonna clean the white stuff, right?
I'm gonna use a straw whisk broom. So I'm gonna boil it, get the oil out of it. Then I'm gonna throw it in the microwave right before I come down here, nuke it. I'm gonna tape it on a piece of bamboo fishing pole that I got, and I'm just gonna lightly flick it. That's all it's gonna take for it to come right off. I had a man ask me summer before last, he says, you ever seen that heart beat? I said, buddy, if that heart starts beating, you might better get out of here. Something's fixing to come down.
That is nice. That almost reminds you of like India or something.
Actually, you don't want to know what that reminds me of, but
Yeah.
cow stomach.
Oh yeah. Tripe.
Tripe. Yep, that's what it looks like. Tripe. Be careful where you guys.
It looks real crystal.
If one of the covered lights go
Yeah,
out,
it does.
Real crystally.
It does look like crystal.
bring out, that's why I'm putting it there. I do have one room I keep the lights slightly off. They don't work anymore.
Is that the original?
Yeah, those was installed in late 50s, early 60s. We could turn lights off and on in any room we wanted. Hurricane Michael hit.
Basically, this tunnel I was running through has those there above us.
And I would love to do that, but I'm only allowed up to an hour. Because we do have tours coming in all day.
Yeah.
Because I got one behind me and I got one more after this one. Y'all are tour number 5 today. I got one more. Shows you how much I like fishing. I've had 5 back surgeries. This is what I do for my fishing game.
Look at that.
And like I said, 2 stories about that little rock, and I'm going to tell you about both of them. But this room here, this is what's known as our discovery room. It was the first one found. This room also holds the original opening into the cave when the men came down here to go to work. And that opening is right up this pathway back here.
I was gonna say
If
it
you
looks
follow
like.
that little rock wall at the very top, you're gonna see a bunch of boulders up there. We had to close it off because not long after we opened up for business, people started sneaking in here at night, coming inside the cave, breaking off formations for souvenirs.
Oh wow.
Here's the
So
first
that's the
story about this
original.
little rock in front of me. It was a stalagmite. And we believe it would have been up about this high because it's grown off a stalactite right here.
Part of it.
Right. Somebody broke the base of it off right here because you can actually see where it was at. I'll get to the second one here in just a minute. But this is what happened to this one. So we close it off. Now, when we got this property, this was during the Great Depression. The gentleman who owned it back then, his name was J.C. Patterson. He was a doctor right here in town. But he also had a pretty good sized farm too. Now there was a section of his land that was nothing but limestone, a big swamp on it, had a cave on it, couldn't grow nothing there. So he got with the state of Florida to see if they would like to have the deed to this piece of property to open up a state park and do a cave tour, which we did say yes. Now we did get turned down a couple of times trying to get a grant because of the depression. You know, one day we got the money. Now up in Washington, D.C., there's a man working up there. His name was Oliver Shalifo. He worked for the National Park Service. He had caught wind about it.
Okay. But that one that's crooked there
Yeah.
shows you that the bottom dropped. And they do drop when they run out of waters. There's so much design.
It's separated. Yeah, this is one big old hole around.
It's just a section of that one.
Yes.
And again, no one lived in these, but he said there is one that they have closed that the Indians live.
Big old thing. This is underground,
And then there's bats.
and it just, wherever the river is washing out this limestone, that's what it got. It's actually long and narrow.
The reason you don't go towards to that original one because of the bats,
Right.
because it would be nice to see artifacts.
Well, too, that and the artifacts in there.
They're all in there, why don't
There's-
you bring them to the museum?
There are some of them up in the museum.
Ah,
They wanna keep everything right where it's at. We do have geology classes from, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. They come to the park, and they each take about a week each time. They pick their weeks, they come out here, we unlock the gates, let them go in there to take pictures of everything, measure it, see if the floor moved or if it dropped. Twin Tower Cathedral back here.
Yeah.
Now, it does have windows going all the way down it. Now, when it gets real wet, kids will look at it and they'll tell me, Mr. Boo, that looks like 2 upside down vanilla ice cream cones. But and if you turn your head to the side and look at it, it pretty much does.
Yeah, it does.
Now, y'all have seen the heart of the cave. I'm gonna let you know this place is also very smart. It does have a brain. And as hard-headed as I am, my boss tells everybody that brain belongs to me. So my brain is hanging up in the ceiling back here in the back.
Right there.
Oh, wow.
Right there. That is our brain. Now, how many of y'all's ever seen the movie The Titanic? Everybody's seen that.
Everybody's seen that one.
this one's taken off?
Hang on, hang on. I have it down here, and I'm gonna show you a short version of the movie. It will be a motion picture too. Now, if you watch right back here, what I'm drawing out for you, that's my movie screen.
Uh-huh.
Watch the shadow that will come up on my movie screen. And there's my Titanic.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna turn my projector on, and the Titanic is floating across the Atlantic. Leonardo DiCaprio is chasing that girl all around the ship. Now, if you remember though, in the movie, when it hit the iceberg and it started to sink, that the orchestra came outside, they continued to play. They were trying to keep everybody calm.
Yeah.
Now, every one of those men did lose their life on the ship.
Yeah.
So if y'all be kind enough to say goodbye to them, because my Titanic is going to slowly sink back down the bottom of the Atlantic again. Down she goes. And they all drown.
Nice performance.
I got a lot of time on my hands out here.
Yeah.
This is what I'm trying to figure out now. I want to see if I can't get that shadow to break in half, like the ship did. I am working on that. That kid is way too fast.
Yeah, it's being proved.
Yeah. All right. This little pathway we're fixing to take, in 42 we came in from the other end. That's where we're going to be walking out. It does have an angle to it. And a lot of people that had on hard-soled shoes, a lot of them started to slip going down it. They kept grabbing this column to keep from hitting the floor. After a few years, the park seen that this column was changing colors. They even knew back then this was going to be a dead rock. This is the only formation we have sacrificed in here. So you can't get this out of your system, since I told you, please don't touch, to see what things feel like as it's growing. It's just got a really unique feel to it, but it's called the touching post. That is it right back here. Now, as we do walk around to it though, back here in the back, now I'll show you right where it's at. Back here in the back, we do have some good sized stalactites. If you stay between these two bigger ones, you won't bump your head on anything.
What you're famous for?
Bumping my head, yeah. That's what I'm famous for.
Now, right around the middle of this post.
But that's the one we could
Slime,
touch.
Really not. We have rubbed on it for so long, we rubbed the glass smooth. If you really want the true feel of rock, you can come up higher or down lower. But it's worn out, it just flows over it, it will never stick to it again.
Because the oil in the skins.
All the oil on your skin, yeah.
It's still wet. Very wet.
Yeah, that's really cool.
There you
It
go.
just feels wet, hard rock.
Yeah, like slimy. It feels like a tooth.
Dry it off, and then I wipe it down with hydrogen peroxide. To keep it clean, because of what's going on in the world today.
People touching it, that's
Yeah.
what we do.
It used to, I just clean it once a month. No, I clean at least once a week. Now this next room we're going to is called the Y. I am from the south. I call it the fork in the road. But you will be underneath a huge amount of petrified coral from here until you walk out of the cave. The ceiling ain't too bad right here at the bottom of the steps. You can tell I'm from the south, I use the word ain't. It isn't too bad down here at the bottom of the steps. We've been going past the spot where they was cutting out another trail. World War II broke out. All construction down here ceased right then because they did need men to go to war. So we have left the cave just like it was the day they walked out of here. Now right there at that spot, you'll be going around a column. From the column until you get to the Y, that part of the ceiling comes down a little bit lower than what it is right here at the bottom of the steps.
Okay.
So y'all please be careful going through here.
Alrighty. Once we pass here, we're gonna see what it looked like. Where to?
I'm the one who always hits the head.
It's getting cooler.
You see the cave
It's getting cooler as we go down.
all the way around. And everything below that, that's where they was cutting out.
Oh, the green is the floor, actual floor.
Yeah. Way that you could take.
Yep, this is the room that they stopped.
Now right here, until we get to the Y, this is where the ceiling is lower. So y'all please watch
And
this.
again, you see the floor there.
Yeah, that's a good.
Just shows you how much they cut. Like they cut from here to here to make the floor. That looks beautiful. And then you got this one here. Right here. You can get a nice picture right through here.
Really over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 4 bowls in this spot here. One there, we got one there, and one back here. Now this is what's called the Y, or I like to call it the fork in the road. Now as you come down the trail, it does fork off here to the left and over to the right. We're gonna take this left side first. We're gonna take you to the largest and the prettiest room down here. It's called the round room. This is where you'll go in, you'll walk all the way around that room in there, you'll come right back out this same way. Y'all remember, this ceiling right here in the front, it is low. Now the cave, it can get kind of humorous and naughty. Y'all pay no attention to that rock that you're gonna be looking at right in front of you. That's the most photographed rock I got. Okay, right?
You do have to get a picture for your mom.
I got a picture of it hanging on the wall next to my recliner, and it's facing my wife's recliner on the other side. She still hadn't figured it out.
There's
Right
the,
now, I
Figure it out.
I look at her and I'm laughing on the inside so hard I'm crying.
oh, those look like lamb. Matter of fact, that looks like. You know what that looks like? What's that thing in Christmas?
Oh, the nativity scene.
Yeah. That they look like a nativity scene on the other side.
We don't worry about it. Cracks are actually healing themselves. Yeah.
Wow.
As the water goes through it, minerals get caught in there. It's like when you cut your finger, how it heals from the inside out. That's what these cracks are doing. No, they won't. Now this round room, we're gonna get started over here on the right side of it. Now the river that carved out this cave, this is where it originated from. And it goes all the way back that way for about a half a mile.
Oh, wow.
Then all of a sudden you'll get into a big opening because that floor drops straight down. I don't go down it. I just crawl to the other end of it and I look down there and say, okay, that's good. And I come back out.
How deep does it go?
It dropped about 150 feet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now all these big boulders right here in front of you, this used to be the ceiling. It did fall in.
Oh, wow.
Now this was back when the river was cutting it out. The reason we figured this one out is there is another room up above us. This was a big opening, so this had a really weak ceiling. And as that water was churning in here, it just sucked it in.
Yeah, that looks good.
Petrified coral. There's about a 20-foot wall. The ceiling is around 4 foot high. There's spots in there that goes down to 3 foot 10. I know I found them, so I had to measure them. Now as we walk into the next room, we're just gonna walk through, there's nothing about it. Right as you come in there through this spot here, don't come up real quick. If you do, you're gonna have a migraine headache on the left side of your head. That's where it's gonna tag you. There is a stalactite hanging right there, right at the other end of this wall. So as you're walking into the room, just slowly come up as you walk. That way you'll miss that spot. Now you will be going around a formation that they left right in the middle of the pathway. We call it a hanging chandelier. You can go on either side, it'll take a right turn. That's where the ceiling will drop back down again. Now there will be a water puddle right in the middle of the floor of the room we're gonna be stopping at. I will keep my flashlight on the floor so you can see it and not get your feet wet. But do be careful though going through here.
Here goes BB, always trying to get ahead of the group.
Trying to get ahead, but not knock my head.
So, look, imagine these people digging this stuff out.
Imagine trying to swing a pick.
Wow. Whew. That's crazy looking.
That is wild, right?
My first tour this morning, 2 people.
Oh, wow. The group is huge, and I asked them for
That, I believe that one was a private tour.
that, right?
Yeah. We can take, I do take you through some of the areas which we can't take you through during the daytime because of the water and the mud. If you get me for
Alright, BB, this is it. Hopefully we got it. And there's supposed to be one more bat.
I want to see him too.
Batman's cousin.
I think this one is smaller than the first one. But thank you for vision. I think it's smaller.
You might be a tad smaller.
Yeah.
And that's a different species from the other one?
No, it's the same one.
Oh, because the other one looked more white.
Yeah, these eastern peppertrolls, they have some of them are kind of a gray color. Some of them is called a tricolor brown. There's about 3 different shades of brown in it.
And you have yourself a Merry Christmas.
Oh yes, ma'am, my plan too. I'm gonna go up to Atlanta and visit my daughter for Christmas.
Whew. We made it alive.
Oh, I knew we would. I was just worried about hitting my head. You know me, I love to hit my head.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed it. They do have a nighttime one, 2 hours long.
Yeah.
And you're only there with a flashlight.
Yep.
And you go through a different area of the cave.
Yep.
Like the one area we couldn't go through because it was muddy. And it doesn't matter if that cave has water or mud. Because it's a VIP tour.
Yeah.
So you don't want to go there dressed up.
Yeah.
Because he says he's even been there where the water's been up to his belly button.
Yeah.
And he's walked through there, so I don't know if I would bring a cell phone at that point. But that was pretty interesting. Learned a lot of things.
Yeah, we did.
Right here in Florida, Marianna.
Yes.
The Florida Caverns
State Park.
State Park.
Yes.
So.
And this is the only cavern that they let you venture through.
Yes. Yeah. Because the other one that has and no humans lived in here, only in the one that did find that the Indians live in. Yeah. That's sealed.
That one's sealed, and it's,
yeah, even with the artifacts inside.
Yeah.
So.
They want that kept preserved.
Yes.
So
until our next adventure, guys.
Everybody take care.
Stay safe.
Take care of one another. Take care of each other and yourself. See ya.